That summary is accurate. It sounds a little grim, doesn't it? And with a lot of the change that's going on, would lead a lot of the practitioners to question about whether their current situation is the right for them in the medium and long term. So for Powerwrap, we are seeing this as an opportunity. We're a non-aligned platform. We're soon to be publicly listed as well. So for us, we see it as an opportunity. People changing their businesses and potentially leaving institutions means an opportunity for a firm like ours. So we're growing. We're taking around about 5% of the net flows in the industry over the past 12 months, which is a good result for us. We've initiated a new business called Ticker, which is to actually offer an end-to-end service for people spinning out of institutions, and that includes licensing, platform, product, research, and even housing those advisors. So for us, we think there is an opportunity for there. The business is growing, and we're looking forward to the next 1 to 2 years. I want to say at the outset that the financial services industry needs a stable banks and provision of services and products to a very large percent of that population to continue. So perceived reputational damage over the past 12 or 18 months will get sorted out. I have no doubt about that. The banks will respond in an appropriate manner, as they are already, and it's important for the whole industry to have that brand perceived brand impact reduced, and then to play an important part of the industry. So the decision whether an advisor should stay or leave a bank, there's a few different things going on there. One or more of the banks may choose to exit advice. We've only seen that recently with Westpac choosing to exit retail advice completely for both their employed advisors and their aligned advisors. So the decision is taken out of the hands of those advisors, and they will need to find a home elsewhere. The other three majors, their decision, they've all signalled whether that they're potentially going to spin off their wealth arms, and that again will have an impact on the licences that they currently control. The advice models will get reshaped, and whether to stay or not with an institution, either as an aligned way or an employed way, really comes down to the individual advisor's goals and what they want from their business, and hopefully how they create value in their firm. That's such a broad question because there are manifold different technologies that an advisor often does and can deploy in their firms. And one of the clear trends we've seen is advisors wanting to select best of breed technologies in different parts of their business. They want to be able to choose a particular CRM, a particular advice technology, particular platform, and other solutions as well, and they want to have those things blend together and come together in a seamless fashion. We think that'll continue. So the notion of open architecture, I think, will continue to gain momentum, and advisors will continue to want to use multiple different solutions to help them run their business in the most efficient manner, and in doing so, deliver their services in the most cost-effective and efficient manner to their clients as well. How many different technologies and how diverse an advisor goes is largely driven again by their business model. What are the services they're offering, and what do their clients need? What sort of clients are they dealing with in the main? So technologies chosen will, by and large, be ones that would be congruent with the needs of their client and the firm at the same time. And the advisors will want all those things to hang together to help them run their business better. On the platform side, we know that all firms nationally average about 2.2 platforms in their businesses, either through choice or through legacy, and we think that'll continue. There's no one platform that can do everything for all investors. There's no panacea in terms of an investment platform solution, and different platforms will focus and specialise in the segments that make sense because of the core of their client base. And you've seen the industry funds focus generally on the lower value client segment, and you've seen platforms such as Powerwrap and some of the private banks and broking houses offer solutions to the high net worth and ultra high net worth client segment. So the choice that advisors have will remain, both on the platform side and some of those other technologies I mentioned, and how the clients will benefit clearly. advisors are being, I guess, ushered through the concept of best interest to offer the best possible solution for the clients that they have, and I think that's a good thing. I think choosing the right product solution, CRM tool, and back office administration is a good thing for both the advisors and for the investors. That depends on what segment the advisors are working in. So the needs of a high net worth and ultra high net worth client with many millions of dollars are quite distinct from those who are starting out their investing journey that might have a relatively modest account. What are the things we know as people increase their wealth? They want more control over their assets and they want more choice, and they want it at a price point as well. So all of these things get rolled up into a decision around does a platform offer an adequate menu of choice for their investors? Does it enable the advisors to create portfolios that make sense for their particular segment? Is it the right price point for their investors as well? Am I actively managing my clients' assets, or am I taking a more passive approach? So all of those things go into making decisions around what product solutions are going to fit the services that an advisor is offering. So our firm, from the outset, focused on what we'd say is high net worth clients. So our client average is about $1.4, $1.5 million, which is quite distinct from the retail platform. So where your client average typically is the 200 to 400 range, largely driven by retail superannuation investments. Our platform is quite different from that. So our average client is a wholesale investor, sophisticated investor, and the products that they want to invest in are often different from the retail investors. And so the advisors servicing those clients want to have a broader menu of alternate assets. They want access to direct international assets from many different jurisdictions. They want to be able to buy direct bonds, hold multi-currency. A lot of those assets aren't available through your typical retail platform. So that's, I guess, our client segment. We're focused on that. We'll continue to focus on that area. That's not to say we don't have solutions for a retail investor, but our core is focusing on a broad choice and a very flexible and open menu for sophisticated investors. There's three clear points, and they're all equally important, and they're all interrelated. Firstly, the advisor's personal and professional goals for their firm or their practice. What do they want to achieve and how do they want to create value, I think is a really important consideration. So the first thing, what are you in business for? And clearly you're there because you want to build value, and that needs to continue, and how is that best served and through what suppliers and potentially what licensees, either self-licensed or otherwise. How do they help you do that? The second element clearly is the needs of your clientele. How do you service those clientele? What sort of clientele are they? And what are the best services that fit the needs of that clientele? And the third item obviously is capacity and skill. So in running your own license will mean a reshaping of your firm, and it'll mean extra work and potentially more resources applied to different tasks that hadn't been applied before. So your capacity to reshape your firm, to build a firm and around your own license is an interesting consideration as well, and that's not for everyone. And sometimes a better solution might be joining with like-minded individuals, but still using somebody else's AFSL and coming under somebody's AFSL. So there are a myriad of different solutions, but those three key points I think are the key to that. For Powerwrap, we'll continue to focus on the needs of the high net worth and ultra high net worth client segment and the advisors that work in that segment. So we'll continue to build our solution out that help them run their firms to best serve that client segment. And clearly Ticker, which we already touched on earlier, is one of the initiatives that we've started already. We've got our first facility in Melbourne, looking at some space in Sydney as well, and we've got some firms already coming into that space in Melbourne. So we think that's a good opportunity for us, and for people looking to come out of an institution to be housed but provided services in a more flexible environment. Then we think that might be a good solution for us. A belief that I've held for some time is that the industry will bifurcate. What we've termed as IFAs and non-aligned advisors will continue to service to high value client segment with more sophisticated solutions and certainly with more focus on the strategy elements as well as the asset management and product solutions. So I think that the retail customers will continue to gravitate towards potentially to industry funds, to banks, and advisors that are specialists in that space. But I do see the IFA industry trending towards dealing with high value clients that can afford to pay for the advice they need, which can often be very sophisticated and detailed and technical. So whilst we have the superannuation system we have and the tax system we have, the need for good advice is always going to be there. The role that robo-advice will play is clearly changing. A lot of commentary on that, and don't want to kind of jump down into that rabbit hole, but it's fair to say that that robo technologies have a part to play, I think, in solving some of the more generic solutions and bringing about solving the needs, the simpler needs of many clients as well. So how far that goes and to what extent that is going to reshape the models in an independent advisor's practice is yet to be seen, but I can certainly see a day where IFAs will embrace robo technologies for a client segment and then provide a different set of solutions for different client segments as well. So I can absolutely see that continuing to evolve.